Welcome to Football Focus. Hope you're all having a great day. Before we kick off, if you love football, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive in. Thomas Frank quietly hints at Tottenham's Son Heung-min replacement strategy as new era begins in North London. The departure of Son Heung-min has left a hole so large that it stretches far beyond the pitch. It touches the walls of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, echoes in the chants of fans, and weighs on the shoulders of a manager brought in to start a new chapter. And in this moment, Thomas Frank has found himself at the eye of the storm, where sentiment meets strategy. He hasn't panicked. Instead, he's offered a calm glimpse into what might come next, and it's not entirely what many expected. Son was not just a winger, or a finisher, or even a captain. He was Tottenham's personality, vibrant, consistent, passionate. The fact that he left with grace to pursue a new challenge speaks volumes of his character. But in a team built on progressive dynamism and flexible width, losing such an all-encompassing figure is more than a footballing issue. It's a statement to the dressing room, a test of resolve for the club's future, and an immediate question to the manager about the plan moving forward. Thomas Frank's response was not loaded with flashy names or desperate calls for a blockbuster signing. Instead, his tone was observational and measured. He mentioned that the solution may come from inside the club, a remark that felt subtle but intentional. Frank has always believed in systems over stars. That belief may now be put to its greatest test yet. There's a young French forward in the squad who, according to Frank, has something different. Those within the club have already seen signs, glimpses of control under pressure, deceptive acceleration, and a positional maturity rare for his age. It's clear that while Son's boots are far too iconic to simply fill, someone could start walking in their direction. The timing of Frank's comments couldn't be more delicate. The transfer window is active, media speculation is at peak fever, and fans are looking for answers. Tottenham, historically reluctant to dive headfirst into inflated markets, are once again standing at a crossroads between developing a project and buying a solution. Frank is not blind to this. He acknowledged that Tottenham would keep eyes open for the right addition, but was quick to stress that any signing must fit the squad's evolving identity. Identity. That's the word Frank used more than once. Without Son, Tottenham need a new symbol, not just a new left winger. Richarlison offers brute force and aggression, Brennan Johnson adds raw speed and youth, and there's also Kudus, brings unpredictability and creative drift. But among all the names, the young French forward, barely mentioned by mainstream chatter, seems to be the player Frank is quietly betting on. Fans, of course, are split. Some want a marquee name, an instant spark that lifts morale. Others are intrigued by the idea of Tottenham reinventing themselves the way other clubs have successfully done so through youth. Frank, ever the pragmatist, seems to prefer the second path, with one caveat. If a signing becomes available that fits both the financial model and the tactical need, he will take it. But there will be no emotional panic buys, not under his leadership. That alone marks a shift. Previous eras at Tottenham have sometimes been marked by reactionary decisions, from inflated attacking signings who didn't gel to over-reliance on one player's form. Spurs have seen it all. But this time, under Frank, there's a sense of planned patience. The club has learned that filling holes quickly often leads to new problems later. There's a whisper around North London that Tottenham might still make one more significant move. A winger, possibly from La Liga, with both speed and technical intelligence. The club has reportedly sent scouts multiple times, and the analytics department has flagged his pressing stats and expected assists as elite. But Frank, true to form, is not confirming or denying anything. He's simply focusing on who's already at Hotspur Way. The internal training sessions have been intense. The young French forward has, on more than one occasion, received praise from coaching staff for decision-making under pressure. His link-up with Maddison and his ability to shift inside has added a new dimension to attacking drills. It's early days, but the buzz is real. Frank's style leans into vertical movement, possession traps, and late surges into the box. It's the kind of system that doesn't demand an iconic winger, but rather one who understands space, pressure, and movement. That's why he believes the next big thing may already be wearing a Spurs shirt, not one waiting to be signed. But this isn't just about tactics or training ground optimism. It's about timing, expectation, and cultural shift. Tottenham are coming off an era of fan idolization centered around Son, and previously Kane. They now have a young squad, a new manager, and a chance to build something unshackled by the cast. Frank doesn't want to replicate the Son era. He wants to create the next one. Supporters have noticed that pre-season friendlies were structured to test different formations and players in Son's old role. One game featured Johnson drifting wide left, another saw a midfield diamond freeing up the left flank for an aggressive fullback overlap. And in training, the young French forward has been trialed in various roles: shadow striker, inverted winger, even false nine. This is all part of a broader plan to ensure that the solution, when found, is not forced but evolved. Of course, the club's scouting network is working in parallel. They've broadened their search outside traditional hotspots. Players from South America and the Eredivisie are being closely monitored. But again, Tottenham's recruitment philosophy, under Frank, is less about fanfare and more about functionality. He wants players who run with purpose, pass with intent, and press with hunger. Son was all of those things, but uniquely packaged. Trying to clone him would be a mistake. Instead, Frank wants to cultivate new versions of success, tailored to today's Tottenham. As the season opener approaches, the pressure mounts. The fans want clarity. But perhaps clarity is coming in a different form this time. Not in a blockbuster press conference or a lavish unveiling, but in the slow, steady emergence of a new Tottenham, one where identity isn't found in one player, but in the collective. Frank believes in that vision, and even in the shadow of Son's legacy, he sees sunlight breaking through.